Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming a video for you guys that I tried to film yesterday, and of course it was a flop. So I want to go ahead and film it today, and since I've already tried the products, I can go ahead and put these products on and tell you guys how I feel about the products as we go. So it's really not a first impressions video, it's more like a mini review, like giving you my opinion about these products. Now I am not going anywhere. It is already, let's see, it's already 6 o'clock at night. So I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. I actually just poured myself a little glass of wine. So I'm just gonna relax as soon as I'm finished. But yeah, so I'm not really going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. So I didn't put on a lot of jewelry. I mean, I just have earrings on. And I actually have a treatment on my hair right now. So I'm not gonna do my hair in this video, but I do wanna show you all these products. A lot of these products I am going to use today are from my Sephora haul. So we're gonna go ahead and just get on into it. So if you wanna see how I apply these products and get like a little mini review of each product, then just keep watching. So yesterday I put on the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. I pretty much used all of the duochromes in this palette, and I used some of the darker shades. So I'm gonna go ahead and use different shades today so that I can compare them to what I used yesterday. So first what I'm gonna do is put on my Mario eye primer. It's really called the Eye Prep and Set Primer, and it's in medium. I love this eye primer because it's like a 2-in-1. It has the eye primer and then the powder to set the primer. So I'm gonna use this today because I have been loving this product. So yeah, so let me get a brush. So basically what I'm gonna do is go into both shades. I've been using both shades together and it's really worked for me. So I'm going to just put that all over my eyelid. I love this primer because it does not tug on my eyelids. Just goes on really smoothly. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the powder and set that primer. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Naga. I'm gonna use that in my crease, and I'm using a Sonia Kashuk rounded crease brush. Just go into my crease with that. Looks more like a lilac shade. Now yesterday I did notice that a lot of the matte shades in here were really powdery, but I'm not a stickler about that because I feel like even if they're powdery and they come off really well on the eyes, that's really what's important, is that they come off well on the eyes and not that they're just a little bit powdery. So I'll show you right here. I don't know if you guys can tell, there's a little bit of powder left over right there. It's just a tiny bit. Okay, I do like this shade. It is a really nice like lilac purple shade. Now I'm gonna go into Tungsten. I'm gonna actually just put this in the crease. I'm not gonna go above the crease with this. That's a pretty purple shade. It looks really light in the pan, but it's pretty deep. And I did use a BK201 brush with that. The next one I'm gonna go in with is a BK205, and I'm gonna go into the shade Scrap, which is that shade right there. And I'm going to take it just on the outer corner of my eye. This is more like a, kind of like a grayish green. It's not so much an olive shade, but it's got some green in it. It doesn't look real olive to me. It looks like it has some gray in it. I'm just taking that on the outer corner, and then I'm bringing it into the crease a little bit, just pressing it in there and kind of blending it at the same time. And if it looks a little messy, don't worry, we're gonna fix it. I am gonna take a clean brush and I'm just going to clean up the edges where that shade meets the purple. I just want it to all mesh together and not look like splotchy. I'm gonna take this MAC 242. I'm gonna go into this shade called Color Flip. This one's really pretty. When you look at it in an angle, it looks kind of like brown, and then when you kind of tilt it, it's got like some purple gray in it. So that's the shade right there up close. So I'm just going to place that all over the lid. And these duochrome shadows that she has in this palette are amazing. They're so good. There's only 3 of them. All the other shades are matte. You can just kind of see some purple highlighted in there, and then it kind of looks gray, but it's not. It's got a really purple like sheen to it. I want to show you the other two duochromes. This one is called Kinetic and this one is called Scarab, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I'm saying those right, but let me show you them. The first one is Kinetic and the other one is Scarab. I think that's how you say it. The Scarab is like a green with a hint of yellow. Purple has like a little hint of like bronzy orange. But they're both really beautiful. Okay, I think that's it for the eyes. We'll come back and do the lower lash line. So I'm not gonna put any lashes on today. I am gonna do my lashes because literally after this, I'm gonna go wash my face and then watch a movie. So I'm not gonna do the whole glam thing because putting on lashes is a lot for me. And then to have to take them off after I work so hard to put them on, I just don't wanna do that tonight. So either way, the whole purpose of this video is to actually show you guys how these products work. All right, so let's go on to the next product. Now the next product is this Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. I got mine in the shade Natural, which I think is a little too light for me. I do want to exchange it for Tawny. I did purchase this at Nordstrom. I did not purchase this during the sale. Nordstrom actually had like a, I think they call it like comparison price sale on some of their beauty items. So I went ahead and picked up this foundation. It was on sale. I think it was only like maybe 15% off, but I picked this up before I picked up the stuff at the Sephora sale. So anyway, I just wanted to mention to you guys that this is not part of that Sephora haul. That's probably why you didn't see it, but I do want to show you guys what it looks like on today because I did try it yesterday and I fell in love with it. It is so good. I just need a different shade. Now I did use 2 primers with it yesterday and I used the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer and the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas. Both of these primers worked well with the foundation. So today what I'm gonna do is just for a little bit more hydration because I feel like my skin is a little bit dry. I am gonna go in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. But like I said, both of those primers worked really well with the foundation. So I'm just gonna put this on the outer portion of my face. And then yesterday I used the Revolution Pore Perfecting Primer for the center of my face, so I'm gonna use it again today. I just put this basically where I have like enlarged pores. So the way this works is that you twist it up and then there is the pump right there. Now one of the negatives to this is that when you pump this, it will get goopy right here. So that's one thing I don't like because you're gonna have to clean it every single time you use it. But I wore this yesterday for, I wanna say it was maybe 9 hours and I had no issues with this foundation. It was so good. Now it is a pricey foundation. Normally it's $88. So when I saw it on sale, I went ahead and picked it up because I really did not want to spend $88 for it. But because it was on sale, I went ahead and tried it and I really do like it. So I tried this yesterday with a brush and with a sponge and I really love the way the brush applied the foundation. I think it was because it gave me a little bit more coverage than the sponge did. So today I'm gonna go ahead and use a brush and I love using this BK Beauty 101 brush to actually apply the foundation. So I'm just gonna shake it up a little bit and I'm gonna put a pump of it on the back of my hand. And I do like this shade, but I feel like the shade's a little bit too light for me. So I am gonna get that tawny shade tomorrow. I'm gonna pick that up tomorrow. Initially, I did go in with 1 layer and I noticed that I needed more like 2.5 layers. The half is going over, of course, my hyperpigmentation, but the 2 layers is literally for my entire face. So I am going to quickly go through this and just apply it and show you guys how I blend it in, but it's gonna be fast forwarded. So let me go ahead and start blending. So as you can see, that is 1 layer. And I wanted to show you guys too, it is a very drippy type of consistency. So let me go in with the 2nd layer. So this is the 2nd layer. It is very beautiful on the skin. It is a soft matte finish and I really do love the finish of it. So for the last layer, and it's really not a half, it's just enough to like cover up a little bit more of my hyperpigmentation. So yeah, so this is just to add a little bit more coverage. It is supposed to be buildable, medium to full coverage. I don't think it's quite full, but I think it almost gets there, you know what I mean? So yeah, it just Looks so pretty on the skin. Now, normally I will say that I go down my neck, I go on my ears, because I want everything to kind of flow. But since I'm washing this right after the video, there's really no sense in me putting it all over. And plus the shade is a lot lighter than what I like. Anyway, I do want you guys to see how beautiful the foundation looks on the skin. I think it has a beautiful finish to it. It says it's supposed to last all day and it's supposed to blur imperfections and not settle in your fine lines. I really did feel like yesterday, it just wore beautifully. I didn't have any like breaking up and I didn't get oily. So yeah, it just looks really good and it worked well for me. And because I used that twice, I'm not going to send that back. I'm actually gonna give this to my oldest daughter who is a little bit lighter than me, so I think this is gonna be a perfect shade for her. And I'll show you right here, it is very, very drippy and it gets dirty. So you just have to clean it off each time. So for concealer, yesterday I used my Hourglass concealer. I used it in Beach and Sepia. Tonight I'm only gonna use Beach. I usually use Sepia just to kind of highlight that inner corner right there, but I'm just gonna use Beach tonight. And this is a very good concealer. It's just really creamy, has some great coverage, just looks really good on my under eyes. It doesn't make them dry and it sets really well. All right, so let's go ahead. I've got my Wet n Wild sponge. Just gonna press that into my under eye. So I did go in with my Tarte Shape Tape yesterday. I am gonna go in with a little bit just cause that's what I did yesterday. I didn't have to go in with too much, but I did go in with this yesterday. So I'm doing it again today. So let me go ahead and just press that into the cheeks. You can see I've already got my little Christmas tree up. I've got a little Christmas candle going. So excited for Christmas. I love Thanksgiving, but I'm so ready to decorate for Christmas. I already started decorating. The only thing I haven't put up is my Christmas tree, but I am going to do that tomorrow. I'm gonna set my under eyes with my Laura Mercier Secret Blurring Powder. I'm just gonna take a little bit on the back of this sponge and press it into the concealer. I always try new powders for my under eyes and I always come back to this. I still love the other ones, but that's like my old faithful. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with this Decay powder. It's in Lucent Beige. This is a powder that I picked up at Saks Fifth Avenue and I picked it up when I was in Houston. This was a long time ago. I'm not sure if they still have it or not, but this powder, guys, I have been loving this powder. It makes my skin look so stinking smooth. So I just take a little bit and I just kind of press it into the skin. It makes my skin look so smooth. I hadn't really used it in a long time. I mean, I think I got this last year. I did. I got it last summer in Houston. Anyway, so it's been one of my favorites here lately. Okay, so I'm gonna take this BK Beauty 204 brush. I am gonna go in with Manganese. That's this purple right here. It is a matte shade. Yesterday, these did have a little bit of fallout and it's probably because they're a little bit powdery. So I always suggest that you do your foundation before you actually do your eyes because you will have fallout. So now I'm gonna go in with Kinetic and I'm just gonna go on top of that shade. That Kinetic shade is a beautiful duochrome shade. I'm gonna take a little bit of that Kinetic shade and just kind of push it into the corner there. So everything can just kind of blend together. So that is it for the eyes. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows and then put some mascara on and curl my lashes, and then we'll talk about the Triochrome palette. All right, guys, I just did my brows, but I wanted to show you guys my new Shiseido lash curler, which I am in love with. I think it grips like every single little lash that I have on my eyelid. I'm loving it. I love the way it just makes my lashes like curl really nicely. It grips on really nicely without hurting my eyes or making my eyes water. I just think it's a game changer for me. So I wanted to show you guys that. I am gonna put on some mascara. This is the mascara that I've been using all the time. It's the Marc Jacobs mascara. I'm just going to put a little bit on my lashes. Oh, you know what? I didn't get to use one of the new ones. I think on this eye, I'm gonna use Lash Freak because I've been wanting to use that one. I should have used the Ilia on this one and the Lash Freak on the other one, because those are the two mascaras that I purchased during the sale. But I'm gonna go ahead and just use Lash Freak on this side. I'll use Ilia on another day. So I'm gonna use the Lash Freak on this eye, because I didn't get to try this one yesterday. This brush is pretty unique, look at that. I'm going to go from the root and then just go up. Oh gosh, no. I just left like a big glob on my waterline, my upper waterline. Maybe if I brush it out. And did I do it wrong? It has like a little ball tip at the end where it grabs onto the lashes, which is nice, but it looks horrible. It has like a big glob of mascara right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't want to show you because it's kind of gross. No, this isn't really working for me. I don't know. Okay, let me try again. I let it dry a little bit. It's a bad idea. That looks bad. I don't like this mascara. It came out too heavy. Yeah, so this is a no-go for me. That glob of mascara is really bothering me. It's kind of stinging. Let me take a Q-tip and clean it off. So another thing I tried yesterday was this Tower 28 Bronzino West Coast bronzer. This is a cream bronzer. I think this one is actually the darkest shade that they have. They have another shade that's a lot lighter. I do really like this product. I went in with a Real Techniques brush, the same one as a matter of fact. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dip this brush back in there. Now this is not like your typical bronzer where it kind of like warms up the face. I feel like the shade is more neutral. So basically what I did was I just kind of pressed it into my cheek, but not on my cheekbone, kind of underneath for some contouring. You see how it's not really a very like bronzy shade? It's more like a contour shade, but it is nice. It goes on really nice on top of the powder. It doesn't like break it up or anything. So it looks really nice on the skin. But I will say that I do go over this cream bronzer with powder bronzer. I mean, if you like the shade of this, that's perfect. But for me, I feel like I need like some warmth to my skin, you know, just a little bit more bronzy tone, like a brown, tan, you know, golden warmth. Do you see? It's more like neutral. There's not really any major like warmth to it. So I do like the product. I think it's really pretty on the skin. And I think it would be really beautiful for someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup. They wear more of their natural skin, you know, and they put like a tint. I think that would be really beautiful on top of that. It does have a slight sheen to it. It's not matte, but it's really pretty. I'm gonna put a little bit of powder on top before I put the bronzer on. So I'm going back in with that Decay powder and just kind of pressing it into that cream bronzer. So yesterday I didn't have a bronzer, so I went in with my Suede bronzer, and this one is in medium to deep duo. This is the packaging, that's the bronzer. Basically what I did was I went into both of them and I just kind of bronzed all over. I needed to, especially with this foundation, because it wasn't dark enough for me. For my cheeks, I went in with the Indian Summer Lawless blush. I bought this blush and another one called Angel Suede, which I love that color. It's like this really beautiful matte peach shade. It's so pretty. These blushes go on so well. I do want to show you guys the Angel Suede because I do want you guys to see a swatch of it because I didn't swatch it in my haul, but it's such a beautiful peach tone shade. That's it right there. So those are the two blushes that I bought during the sale. And then I did not use the Tower 28 cream blushes that I bought. I bought Happy Hour and Golden Hour, but today I do want to put Happy Hour on top of this. I love doing the cream blush on top of the powder. I call it the Patrick Ta method because that's the first time I've ever heard of someone doing that. Now, there might have been someone else that did it before him, but he's the first one I saw do it, so that's why I always call it the Patrick Ta method. I'm just gonna take my sponge and take a little bit of cream on there. Do you see how bright it is? I hope it's not that bright on my skin, but yeah, it's bright. I'm just gonna go ahead and press it on top. Look how bright that is. Okay, you don't need much of that, but that's good to know that it's very pigmented, you know? So we are going to blend this out. Okay, I blended it out and I have to say guys, it looks so pretty on the skin. Next time I will not go in so heavy with that. I really didn't think this was gonna be that pigmented, but it is. And that's a good thing because I feel like if you're gonna have a cream blush, I'd like it to have some pigmentation and not be so sheer. This one is Golden Hour. I'm gonna show you guys a swatch. Yeah, this is pretty pigmented too. So that's Golden Hour right there. It's more of an orange tone. These are gonna be beautiful for like spring and summer. I mean, the orange tone you can always wear on top of a blush too. I think it'll just enhance that blush. I just love the way this blended out. It blended out so beautifully. Even though I went ham with it, it still looks gorgeous on the skin. So I do love that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the Natasha Denona I Need a Glow highlighter. I've been loving this highlighter with this brush. It's by Hakuhodo. I think it's called Hakuhodo Sephora Pro Brush. This is an old brush that I purchased a long time ago at Sephora, but I know that there's brushes out there that look like this. I love it because it's a little bit more compact and a little more dense. So it picks up just enough product and it distributes the product beautifully on the skin. So I really love that. I love that glow that it gives. It's very subtle, but you can still see it. I think what I'm gonna do is try that Tower 28 Bronzino bronzer on top of my powder bronzer. I wanna see how it makes the powder bronzer look. I'll try that later. And let you guys know. So what I've been loving here lately is the Sweet Nothings pencil by Juvia's Place. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips. Then I went in with this Natasha Denona Andrea lipstick. It's such a beautiful nude lipstick. And then to finish it all off, I went in with the Décolleté Shiny Terracotta powder. This is another powder that I picked up from Saks. Okay, I took that headband off. I should have just kept the headband off the entire time. But I am gonna go in with this powder here. Like I said, it's Shiny Terracotta. So this powder is more of like a shimmery powder. Not shimmery, it has just like a glow to it that I can use it to buff everything in. So that's what I'm gonna do. And it has a little tint of color to it that it'll give my skin that really beautiful kind of tan glow. I've been loving this just as much as I've been loving the Lucent Beige one. It just makes my skin look so glowy and flawless. I just love it. So let's go ahead and talk about the palette. I left the palette for last because I feel like the palette is something that I have like a love-hate relationship with, and I'll tell you why. What makes this palette is these three duochrome shades. That's what makes this palette to me. And I really feel like if you're gonna pay this much for a palette, you should have some really eye-opening shadow, just like the duochromes that are in here. So when I tried this palette yesterday, I really felt like the matte shadows in here were very difficult to blend. Doesn't mean that they didn't blend out, it just means that it took a long time to blend them out. They weren't as creamy as her matte shadows in the Glam palette. And the Glam palette, mind you, I think is only $65, and this one was what, $129 or something? I'll put the price right here. I know it was a lot more than the Glam palette. So because I found that those matte shades, and I'll tell you which ones I used yesterday. I used Scrap, Manganese, I used Garmon, Diatonic, Vertex. I used quite a bit of shadows yesterday. And I felt like those shadows, when I put them all on together, they did come off just a little bit muddy. And I think it's because I kept blending and blending and blending and trying to like make them not look so splotchy. Now today, I really feel like the shades came off well, but the Scrap shade that I put on the edge, I had to go back with my brush and kind of just blend it out a little bit more. It was still not blending to what I thought it should. I'm kind of glad that my video didn't work out yesterday because today I got to give it a second chance. I really feel like it's not a bad palette. I feel like the look that I did today came out very well. I didn't have any issues other than that Scrap shadow that I had to really blend on the edge. But other than that, everything else worked out beautifully. So I will say this, if you are looking at getting this palette, I would really, really reconsider getting it. And I say this because, guys, this is not as impressive to me as the Glam palette was. The only thing that really impresses me here is those duochromes, and that stinks because that's what makes this palette. And I don't know, the price just doesn't go with the palette. So some of the shades don't blend out as well as I want them to. I have to work at it, and nobody really wants a palette that you really have to work at. Nobody wants to buy a palette that it's gonna be easy to use these 3 shades and then have shades that are very hard to use. I like this palette. I don't love this palette. Like I said, it's a love-hate relationship with it. I'm still gonna keep it because I do love those duochrome shadows. I love the eye look that I came out with today. I am gonna be trying these shades here, and then this, which is this one right here, it's more of like a mustard yellow. So I will be trying those shades out. So anyway, I'm not really trying to get you away from buying this. I'm just saying, please consider or reconsider buying this if you're thinking about buying it. Look at some more reviews. I may have just had a palette where it was just a little bit harder to use. You may watch somebody who did an eye look and it was really easy for them to use. I say do your research before you buy this. But I will say it is not a bad palette. There are some good things about this palette. And like I said, the look today I really loved. And I especially love all 3 of the duochromes. I think they're phenomenal. They're beautiful on the eye, and I would wear those alone. I wouldn't even have to use any of these other shades. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about the Natasha Denona palette. That's why I left it to the end, because I had a lot to say about it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the application of these products and you enjoyed my little mini reviews of these products. Like I said, I'm really glad that it worked out this way so that I can really give you a little more detail of how I feel about the product as opposed to just doing the first impression. I may start doing my videos like that. I may start trying them out and then trying them again for you guys and letting you know right then and there what I think about the product. Sometimes I think that's the better route. I love first impressions videos and I love doing them, but sometimes, you know, I really want to know, well, you liked it, but how did it work like the next time you used it? You know, because some days may work for you, some days it doesn't. Just like this Laura Mercier powder that I have. Some days this honey powder works well for me, and then some days I hate it on my skin, but I still use it because I do like it when it looks good on my skin. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I really would love if you would join my channel, so please hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you'll know when I put a video out. When you hit that notification bell, I think it says all, personalized or something like that. Click all, because it'll be every video that I put out, it'll come right to your inbox or, you know, on your feed. So anyway, thank you, take care, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.